Is Britney Spears okay? Fans are deeply concerned. It feels like every week Britney Spears makes headlines for something that leaves fans both worried and heartbroken. And the truth is, what we're seeing right now doesn't look like freedom, it looks like someone spiraling while the world watches. After years of fighting to escape her conservatorship, Britney is finally free, but instead of peace, her life seems more chaotic now than ever. From bizarre Instagram posts to concerning public outbursts to the people surrounding her, everything points to the fact that Britney Spears may desperately need help before things get worse. Let's break down what's really going on. First, her Instagram behavior. For years now, Britney's posts have been one of the biggest red flags. The endless videos of her twirling, dancing, staring into the camera is not just quirky anymore, it's unsettling. Fans notice her repeating the same captions, deleting posts and re-uploading them, and even writing cryptic messages that feel like cries for help. While she claims it's just, self-expression, many believe it's evidence of a much deeper mental health battle. Some even argue that Britney doesn't always seem fully in control of her own account, which only makes things creepier. Then there's the disturbing sword videos. Remember that? Britney posted herself dancing with two giant swords in her kitchen, twirling around as if it was totally normal. Fans panicked, the video looked unhinged, and it was so concerning that even animal welfare authorities got involved because her dogs were seen panicking in the background. Britney later insisted, the swords were fake, but nobody was convinced. It wasn't just strange, it was dangerous, and it was yet another moment that made people question what she's, doing and if she's truly safe. And it's not just online, it's in real life as well. Britney's public behavior has raised eyebrows too. There was the shocking restaurant incident in Los Angeles where she was spotted allegedly talking to herself, mumbling incoherently, and covering her face while customers filmed her. Even her then husband, Sam Asghari, reportedly stormed out of the restaurant, leaving her behind. These aren't just paparazzi rumors. People there said it was disturbing to witness. It felt like Britney was unraveling right in front of strangers. Speaking of Sam Asghari, her relationship, has been another source of chaos. When Britney and Sam divorced, it wasn't just a breakup, it was explosive. Reports came out about violent fights, cheating accusations, and Britney allegedly attacking him in her sleep. Now, these stories paint a very troubling picture of someone struggling to cope with reality and lashing out at the people closest to her. And let's not forget her finances. There have been rumors that Britney is burning through her fortune at a very dangerous rate, lavish vacations, constant shopping, impulsive spending. Some insiders fear she could run out of money within a decade if this continues. Without any real structure, Britney might not, just lose her mental health, but everything she's worked so hard to gain. What makes this all even more heartbreaking is how it mirrors her infamous 2007 breakdown. The shaved head, the umbrella incident, the psychiatric holds. It feels like history could be repeating itself. Back then, Britney was placed under a conservatorship because the courts believed she couldn't make decisions for herself. Now more and more people are asking, did the system actually tell her again or fail her again by letting her go free without the proper support? Fans love Britney, no doubt. They want her to be okay, but right now her life looks like a cycle of instability and no one around her seems willing or able to step in. The question is, will someone finally intervene before tragedy strikes? Or will Britney Spears end up as yet another cautionary tale of what fame, trauma, and isolation can do to a person who never got the real help they needed? It's Britney back in the headlines, and this time we've got her meltdown recorded in 4K. Britney Spears just gave the internet another viral moment, and no, it's not a dance video or a cryptic Instagram caption this time. It's a leaked police body cam video from LAX, and it involves a private jet, vodka, a cigarette, and a quote that's already living rent-free in everyone's heads. She didn't take her meds. Let's rewind. Back in May, Britney was flying home from a getaway in Cabo San Lucas. Private jet, of course, but somewhere over the clouds, things got a little weird. Flight attendant says that she lit up a cigarette mid-air despite being told not to. And yes, apparently she had vodka in hand. Long story short, the crew was so rattled by her behavior that they radioed ahead for help. So when Britney's plane landed at LAX, airport police were already waiting. No chaos, no cuffs, just a casual body cam video now surfacing months later. A customs officer drops the line, "We get her all the time. Today she obviously didn't take her meds." Ouch. The footage shows Britney walking off the jet looking surprisingly chill. She's waving, smiling, totally calm. Not exactly what you'd expect from someone who allegedly caused an in-flight meltdown. But then again, this is Britney. Inside the cabin though, flight attendants described a very different vibe. They said she was disheveled, had sunscreen smeared all over her, and was argumentative. Now, she reportedly refused help with her seatbelt and got upset upset when someone tried to assist her. Honestly, sounds like a chaotic girls' trip landing, minus the paparazzi. Oh wait, actually they were there too. She wasn't arrested though, no charges, no detainment. She was given a warning and walked out like it was just another Tuesday. I mean, police didn't even seem that fazed. One officer in the video called her very compliant and nice, which if you followed Britney's post-conservatorship era, feels very on brand. I mean, a little messy maybe, but not criminal. Of course, Britney clapped back on Instagram. She said she thought smoking was allowed on the jet. Weird. She also said it was her first time drinking vodka. Girl, please. And naturally, she sprinkled in a product plug and another free-spirited dance video because no Britney statement is complete without a little twirl, right? Now, the real gem here is the public's reaction to that quote, she didn't take her meds. Whether that officer was joking or not, it hit a nerve. Some fans say it's proof Britney still isn't being taken seriously. Others say it's just more evidence she's spiraling. And a third group, well, they're just here for the memes. Let's be real, this is far from the first eyebrow-raising moment we've seen from her lately, from almost burning down her home gym to swinging around, you know, with knives on camera to those wild hotel towel videos. Britney's post-conservatorship freedom has been very intense, but hey, she's legally allowed to live her life however she wants, right? To put it in perspective, this all happened in May. Now, the footage only leaked recently, which is why it feels like it's fresh drama, but Britney, she's already on to the next thing. She's back on Instagram dancing, plugging her beauty products, and low-key trolling the world with captions that make absolutely zero sense. The princess of pop, Britney Spears, although officially free now, is she really? Friends, family, and fans are deeply concerned, and things only seem to be getting worse. Britney Spears' friends and family were reportedly so worried about her that they actually tried to stage a full-on intervention. Not a casual sit-down, not a hey, maybe chill with the Instagram videos, but a serious planned intervention because they believed her life was at risk. According to reports, people close to Britney say her behavior has become increasingly erratic and unpredictable. They claim she's been taking medications that hype her up while ignoring the ones that are meant to actually stabilize her. The fear was that if something didn't change soon, she could spiral into real danger. The plan was intense. Britney's manager supposedly rented a house in Los Angeles where they were going to bring her in secretly. Inside waiting, well, her husband at the time, Sam Asghari, medical professionals, and a professional interventionist. The idea was for Britney to live there for as long as 2 months, receiving treatment, counseling, and also constant support. But here's the twist. Britney somehow caught wind of the plan, and the entire intervention was scrapped before it even started. She did meet with a doctor afterwards, and reports say that meeting, you know, it went pretty well, but compared to the full-on structured intervention, it was a very scaled back outcome. Sam Asghari also confirmed the intervention did not actually occur, asserting that Spears was in full control of her life, although he did not deny that the plan had been in place. To understand why this rattled everyone so much, you do have to remember her history. Britney lived under a conservatorship for 13 years, with her life and her career controlled in ways that became a global controversy. The conservatorship ended in late 2021 after the massive #FreeBritney movement. Now that gave her back her full independence. No court-ordered evaluations, no restrictions, nothing. But now, with friends saying they see dangerous warning signs, the question becomes, where's the line between respecting someone's freedom and stepping in when their health is at stake? The whole situation highlights the very thin line that Britney has always walked between, you know, her fame, her personal freedom, and public concern. Her loved ones tried to step in, of course, but the plan ultimately collapsed. She did meet a doctor, but not under the structure her inner circle wanted. And now the world is left wondering, is Britney okay? Or is this another chapter in a cycle, you know, that we've all kind of seen before? What do you guys think about her family and friends trying to stage this intervention? Was it warranted, unwarranted? Let me know your thoughts.
Britney Spears is once again concerning fans with her strange and worrying behavior. She just posted a photo of herself naked on Instagram. She posted posted a naked picture of her from behind and covered part of her butt with an emoji of a rose. She then decided to turn the comments off on that post. Now she then did the same thing again hours later, still with the comments off. This time though, she blasted her marriage and revealed that it was a fake distraction to her. Now Britney and Sam Asghari were married in June 2022 before Sam filed for divorce in August of 2023. Their divorce was finalized in May 2024, with Britney being declared legally single in December. Now to be honest, some people had been worried about Britney and the marriage and that Sam was doing it for the wrong reasons. Now after the breakup, Sam said, "You learn so much from being in a relationship in general," he said in July 2024. "I appreciate all the amazing experiences that I got." He then emphasized that their marriage was something that's always going to be a part of me, and he would always celebrate the past. "I wish her the best," he added. "She's an amazing person and a huge part of my life, and I always appreciate the moments we had together." But now Britney has been speaking out and has a different story. Now she captioned her new Instagram post, "We're just people so fragile and human. The hardest years of my life were my 2 sons gone for those 3 years. I was cut off from calling or texting, and I remember in shock my secret to survival was denial and a lot of tears. It's weird for me and Sam were married, but it almost felt like a fake distraction to help me deal with it." She added, "I know I'm healing because I'm hungry again, like a child or baby. I'm so hungry that it hurts when I eat. It's like my first time ever eating in life. I believe although I loved my home, there is way too much abuse and trauma in there. Today, I thank Jesus for food and I feel like telling others no, owning my body and letting them really know where I'm from," she added. "My soul has never experienced food like this a day in my life. So silly and embarrassing. I'm gonna go eat cookies and ice cream now. God bless you all." Now, hours later after this post, she deleted the caption but still left up the picture. Now, Sam later responded to what she said through his representative, saying, "Our marriage was very real to me. It may have been short, but we were together for 7 years. I was in love with her, will always have love for her, and wish her the best always." Now, this is just one of the many posts Britney has made that has been concerning people. She's been posting strange dancing videos where you can see that her house is a complete mess, and some things she's saying aren't making sense. Fans are worried for her and hope that she is doing okay.
In May 2025, Britney Spears once again found herself at the center of a media storm after an incident aboard a flight from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico to Los Angeles. The pop icon's decision to light a cigarette mid-flight in clear violation of federal aviation regulations has sparked widespread concern and debate about her well-being and judgment, reigniting public scrutiny that has followed her for decades. On May 22, 2025, Spears, traveling with her security team, reportedly lit a cigarette while the plane was airborne. Witnesses described her as visibly intoxicated. Flight attendants immediately intervened, instructing her to extinguish the cigarette. Spears complied, but the crew alerted authorities, who met her upon landing and issued a formal warning regarding her behavior. Federal rules prohibit smoking on any commercial airline. Spears' misunderstanding of this rule, or disregard for it, becomes a focal point of this incident. The day after the incident, Spears addressed the controversy on Instagram, posting a video from the flight and offering her perspective. She described the situation as hilarious, explaining that she thought the plane allowed smoking because the drink holders were outside the seat, a detail she found unusual and apparently interpreted as a sign of relaxed rules. She also clarified that she wasn't the one to get the cigarette out. It was her friend that put it in her mouth and lit it. She did apologize to anyone that she may have offended, but her tone remained lighthearted, which suggested to some that she did not fully grasp the seriousness of the violation. Spears further remarked that she thought the officials who met her at the airport were there to support her, not realizing at first that they were responding to her behavior. For many, the episode is reminiscent of the turbulent years that led to Spears' court-ordered conservatorship. During that period, her father controlled her finances and many aspects of her life, citing concerns for her safety and mental health. Since regaining her independence, Spears has been open about her struggles and desire to reclaim her autonomy. But incidents like this one fuel ongoing debates about her readiness to navigate life without oversight. Smoking on any commercial or charter flight operating under federal regulations is strictly prohibited due to the risks of fire and the health and safety of all passengers and crew. Spears' actions not only violated these rules, but also put others at risk, prompting a swift response from flight attendants and authorities. The incident underscores the importance of adhering to aviation safety protocols regardless of celebrity status or perceived privilege. While Spears has apologized and attempted to explain her actions, the episode has fueled renewed concern about her judgment and well-being, both among fans and allegedly those closest to her. As Spears continues to navigate life post-conservatorship, incidents like these serve as a stark reminder of the challenges she faces and the ongoing debate of how best to support the star as she seeks independence and stability.
Is Britney Spears' son just using her for her money now? Well, one source claims so let's look into it. Britney Spears' team is allegedly worried about her relationship with her son Jaden. The singer recently shared a glimpse of her bonding time with her youngest son. Now, to give you background in case you don't know, she shares sons Sean Preston and Jaden with her ex-husband Kevin Federline. Now, the pop star has reportedly been making efforts to mend her relationships, with her once estranged children since reuniting with them last year. However, according to a new report, people close to her are concerned about Jaden taking advantage of her in several ways, but mainly financially, just like his daddy, ain't it? Anyway, Britney Spears' team believes her son is using her. A new report has hinted that Britney Spears' team has been questioning Jaden's intentions amid their mother-son bonding time. It was reported that the 43-year-old recently gifted her youngest son a new Mercedes SL63 AMG worth over $200,000. While the move may seem like an effort by Spears to mend their broken relationship, people around the singer believe the teen's motives may be less than sincere. Though Jaden has reportedly become more attached to Spears in the last couple of months, one source said his older brother has remained more distant. The singer has been spoiling her teen. The outlet exclusively learned from a source that her team is quote-unquote definitely worried about her relationship with Jaden. Now, the source explained that everybody is worried that the, aspiring musician is using his pop star mom with bad intentions. Jaden could allegedly be seeking financial gains and to further his career. They added, saying, "The fear is that this could hurt her and be the last straw for her." Following the reunion, Jaden reportedly returned to California in November and grew close with his mother. Meanwhile, her older son, Sean Preston, stayed back in Hawaii. Now, it's unclear why he didn't join, but many think he's just not ready to have a relationship with her, or maybe he just feels like he wanted Jaden to get that one-on-one time. Either way, it's unclear, and we don't really know the real reason yet, but according to a source though, Sean still takes the same stance he's always had with his mom, which is guarded and at a very, short arm's length because he does not want to be in the industry. A second insider, painted a more optimistic picture of the mother-son relationship, calling their recent time together very special and incredibly healing for Spears. Now, they said with Sean, there is still some room for improvement, but this is a time of reconciliation. Both boys are welcome to visit and stay with Britney anytime they want. Britney has needed some mom time and she would love to be with her kids all summer and make up for some lost time. Now, Hawaii is where the siblings had been living with their father, Kevin Federline, since 2023. Spears and her son's bond have been complicated. In earlier years, Federline was awarded care of the boys in 2008 following his divorce from Spears the previous year, when the singer became, the subject of a conservatorship due to her well-publicized breakdown. Now, another insider also told the outlet that the singer hopes to form a similar bond with Sean Preston as she did with her youngest. The 19-year-old has reportedly remained very hesitant regarding the same, and the new report comes days after Spears gave a rare glimpse of her quality time with Jaden. The pop star shared a very candid video of the duo on a drive. They were seemingly in the car that she gifted him. She also expressed her surreal feeling in the Instagram Reels caption. The mom of two wrote, "He is 6'3" and his hands are so big now." She then questioned, saying, "How long am I going to be in shock?" The singer then said, "It's so incredibly crazy, it's not even funny." She stated that she was feeling blessed. However, Spears also added, "Just please be careful with my heart too." Well, what does that mean? Like, is she saying that to him, about him, to her fans? So many questions, so little answers. It's reported though that Jaden reached out to Britney saying he missed her and felt she had shown, that she was doing better. Insiders also allege that Spears and Jaden have bonded over their shared love of music. The source said, "Britney is ready to give him every advantage. She believes he's incredibly talented and she takes full credit for his musical abilities." Well, what do you guys think? Is her son using her for her money, or does he genuinely just want a better relationship with his mom?
Britney Spears has revealed that she has left the US and by extension Hollywood behind. She shared this shocking confession on her Instagram, posting a series of videos to her main feed. The first was her sharing her thoughts on the paparazzi, the second of her birthday cake, and in the third she confirmed she did in fact cross that border. Let's break down all three of these clips together. Video number 1, which was posted Tuesday, features the star expressing her dislike for the photos recently taken of her boarding, presumably, knowing what we know now, the plane she took took to Mexico. In the video, Spears says, "I'm not really sure why the paparazzi have me going on a plane looking like I'm wearing a Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me." Personally, I think she looks fine in the pictures. I don't fully understand the Jason mask comment. I guess it might be the sunglasses combined with some shadows on her face that give that illusion to her. Either way, she isn't happy about the way the pictures made her look. The pop pics went viral just a few days ago, along with an exclusive video obtained by the Daily Mail. Both forms of media show Britney in a long white coat with a black wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses boarding a black plane. The outfit is not worrying. What had people looking twice at this moment was the lighter in Spears' hand. It was one of those long ones. It's called a grill lighter. It's hard to miss. The star had the lighter up to her lips. The inclusion of the lighter had people talking, as a viral story from a few years ago also featured Britney Spears and fire. The star dropped interesting lore about her life in an April 2020 workout tutorial that she had accidentally burned down her home gym. Her explanation as to how the fire started was, "I had 2 candles and yeah, one thing led to another and I burnt it down." Thankfully, no one was hurt, just a couple workout machines. Spears posted a throwback to that incident last December, once again bringing that to the forefront of her fans' minds. Now it's a year later, and as Spears is pictured with a lighter while entering a plane, some dedicated fans can't help but feel that worry again. But Spears herself has encouraged people not to worry in the first of the 3 videos. She speaks about the lighter as if it were unimportant, saying, "I don't know why I have a torch in my hand. Honestly, I think my friend accidentally gave that to me." Torch being the lighter. She made it clear that she wasn't holding the lighter with evil intent or anything like that, so everyone can relax about it. Right at the end of the video, Spears makes the claim that she is not turning 42, she is turning 5, and she has to go to kindergarten tomorrow. This has got the gossip sites talking. Clearly, people are saying that Spears has lost it, that this is really concerning or disturbing, and everyone is entitled to their own outlook on the situation, which means I am too. I think she's joking and just got her age mixed up. I personally have forgotten my own age before. I know my friends and family have too. It's a completely normal human thing to do. Sure, Spears is known to be experiencing some mental health struggles, but that doesn't mean she's completely lost her head. People have been making fun of this poor girl for years. She makes one small mistake, says she's turning 42 instead of 43, and all the headlines are talking about her mental decline. The comment about turning 5 and the kindergarten stuff, I will admit, is not exactly a normal thing to say, but it's pretty clear in this video and many other things that the star has posted and said that she doesn't appreciate how the media treats her or depicts her. She's constantly being torn apart, and her mental health/state is always up for discussion, and her intelligence is often reduced whenever people talk about her latest social media uploads and other activities. I wouldn't be surprised if this comment about how she is mentally 5 years old and starting school tomorrow is her way of responding to all that. There is also the manner of the lighter that could have factored into this. I'm bringing this up because it was mentioned in the same video. Commonly, people believe that you shouldn't give really young humans access to fire, right? They don't know that what they have is dangerous, they might hurt themselves or others without knowing, etc. Maybe having everyone so concerned about her, an adult, holding a lighter, struck a nerve, resulting in the joke about being 5. But moving on to the next video, this one was shared in the same post as the first. Of the trio, it's probably the most tame, I guess. It literally is just Spears showing off her birthday cake, and it looks good too. She describes it as a very, very cute baby cake, and she's not wrong. She goes on to say that her friend got it for her, I'm guessing because that would be wild if they got a cake for themselves on her birthday. Anyways, the third video posted, separately of the other 2, is where Britney drops the news that she moved to Mexico. Honestly, good for her. That was at the end of the video though, so let's unpack everything that came before it. The video kicks off with Britney reiterating her disdain for the photos taken of her boarding the plane and just for the paparazzi in general. Again, making a comment about how she feels like the photos taken look nothing like her and make her look like she's wearing a white Jason mask. She goes on to call out the paparazzi for being cruel towards her over the years, especially in the way they take pictures of her. Paparazzi are still incredibly invasive today, but in the early 2000s when print magazines had million-dollar budgets for photos, it was definitely tougher and encouraged the behavior to continue and get worse as people looked for money shots. A resurfaced article from November 27, 2008, written for ABC News, details the disgusting lengths pops would go to for a picture. The article writes about how they had no problems taking pictures of Britney in a short dress with her undergarments exposed, and even worse, later taking photos photos of her in a miniskirt getting out of a car in which she is completely exposed. The average person, you would hope, would see something like that and put their cameras away to preserve the subject's modesty, but it seems when a magazine's budget for pictures is roughly $140,000 a week, morals shift. That number isn't something I pull from thin air. In the documentary Framing Britney Spears, the former photo director for US Weekly, Britton Stone, shared that that was the amount they could sometimes have at their disposal when it came to buying paparazzi pictures. Now, the money shot of Spears ended up being those taken on the night of her infamous 2007 public breakdown. The shocking depiction of Britney with a shaved head and attacking a car with an umbrella are burned into pop culture. The pop responsible for that moment actually did an interview for the same Britney doc in which he explained that that night was not a good night for her, it was not a good night for us, but it was a good night for us because it was a money shot. It was brought up that Britney frequently pleaded with the Pops to leave her alone, to which this man said, "There were times when she was like, 'Can you leave me alone for the day?' But it wasn't like, 'Leave me alone forever.' You know what I mean?" Personally, I don't, but previously in the interview, he talked about how when Britney first started getting popped, she seemed more at ease with it. He even claimed that she would give up shots, meaning that she would wave and be friendly and smile for the camera. At this point in time, the paparazzi said that it was like she needed us and we needed her. Of course, things can start on a great note and end up completely horribly, like the position Spears has found herself in today, unable to do anything in public without a shutter clicking. In her video, Britney went on to say, "I know I'm not perfect at all by any means, but some of it is extremely mean and cruel," before dropping the shocking news, "That's why I've moved to Mexico." So it's looking like, as of right now, the reason Britney has left Hollywood and all its strings behind is because of the paparazzi and their years of harassment. The most recent posts to Britney Spears' Instagram are of her dancing in a shiny mini dress. The dancing videos, they're not new, she posts them all the time. Britney is a super talented dancer, that's what made her a standout performer at the height of her pop career. Now she exercises that muscle on her Instagram from time to time. It's unclear when these videos were taken, but it does look like she did in fact change locations. The caption for the first two videos was, "What are we watching, my friends?" The third one didn't have one. From what she's posting on social media, it looks like she is having a great time in Mexico. Truly, I hope she is, and is able to start a fantastic new life there. Also, happy 43rd birthday, Britney Spears.
We've been finding out more and more information about Diddy recently, and somehow Britney Spears has been involved in all of this. Yep, you heard that right, so let's look into her involvement. TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group is the celebrity management firm that previously came under fire for its alleged involvement in Britney Spears' conservatorship battle. Turns out though, they also have a connection to Diddy. The company's founder, president, and CEO is none other than Britney's former business manager, Lou M. Taylor, who she accused of playing a key role in the conservatorship's implementation in 2008. Now, we know that sketchy things were happening with Britney, so who knows what horrible things this group has done in connection to Diddy. Now, Lou actually managed Diddy too, as she confirmed it in 2019. Britney has also previously called out TriStar Services director Robin Greenhill, who was recently mentioned in a civil lawsuit against Diddy by producer Rodney Little Rod Jones. In 2021, it was revealed that Greenhill was in control of Britney's credit cards, medications, and that TriStar had allegedly used Britney's own money to hire a security team to surveil her during her conservatorship, which is honestly just crazy. Now, Britney even spoke out about Greenhill in her memoir, labeling her a weird blank lackey, and accused the pair, along with her own father, Jamie Spears, of bullying her. Now, it was also previously reported by the Los Angeles Times that Britney's legal team was investigating the alleged $18 million that TriStar obtained from her estate over the span of the conservatorship, which was terminated by a judge in November 2021 after 13 years. TriStar, Taylor, and Greenhill have all denied the allegations and have insisted that Britney's conservatorship was put forth by recommendation of legal counsel, not TriStar, and approved by the court for more than 12 years. Now, they mistreated Britney so poorly, and it appears that they helped Diddy cause harms to others. Now, Greenhill's name was back in the press this year after Rodney Lowe Rod Jones filed a $30 million lawsuit against Diddy, claiming that he mistreated and took advantage of him. Now, Rodney also claimed that Diddy made him a witness to multiple crimes against his own will as well. Now, how does this relate to Britney? Well, she accused the company and its founder, her former manager Lou Taylor, of helping create and benefiting from the conservatorship agreement put in place by her father, Jamie Spears, in 2008, which she described as traumatizing in her court statements. Now, Britney claimed that TriStar had received $18 million in the conservatorship arrangement, even though Britney didn't have access to her own earnings. Now, the New York Times reported that Greenhill had been an important agent in the company's interest in the conservatorship by controlling her credit cards and medications well beyond what one would expect a pop star's management company to do. Now, a lot of the company's inner workings for how it manages its accounts are kept under lock and key, the paper reported, with 2 former employees saying they weren't allowed to access basic information like income statements or balance sheets. TriStar first tried to deny it helped originate Britney's conservatorship, which her attorney challenged by presenting the court with an email that showed its reps discussing the arrangement at its origination. The New York Times documentary about Britney's case included allegations that TriStar and Greenhill specifically had operated an elaborate surveillance apparatus to spy on the pop star. But how did this all start? Well, everyone knows about Britney's meltdowns in 2006 and 2007. Now, later, at the beginning of 2008, she was put on a 51-50 hold in the hospital. A week after this, she was sent back to the hospital on a 51-50 hold again, and her father Jamie was granted temporary conservatorship over the star. Now, soon after the conservatorship was in place, she said her father said, "I just want to let you know, I call the shots. You sit there in that chair, and I'll tell you what goes on," she recalled. "I looked at him with a growing sense of horror. I'm Britney Spears now," he said. Now, Britney also spoke out about the 13-year conservatorship, and she hit out at her dad Jamie in the explosive memoir as she opened up about the unrelenting control her family had over her, which, looking back, makes her feel sick. Now, people in Hollywood knew that this was happening but didn't do anything. Finally, in 2019, fans started to realize that something was wrong, and they created the Free Britney movement. Now, with fans backing Britney up, she felt like she finally had a voice and requested the conservatorship to end. Now, she and her father appeared in court multiple times over the year, and on November 12, 2021, the conservatorship was finally over. Now, it seems like TriStar and its employees are always getting in trouble and should honestly be investigated. While Britney is free now, some people don't think she got the justice she deserved. Now that TriStar is intertwined with Diddy, maybe the company and its employees will now be held accountable. Now, Diddy, though, for his part, claims that he's innocent. Now, Diddy is currently awaiting trial at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He's proposed different bail packages, but they've all been denied. Defense lawyer Alexandra Shapiro asked them to release Diddy on a $50 million bond, which would be backed by his $48 million Miami home and co-signed by several of his family members. Now, she also proposed that Diddy be monitored around the clock by security personnel, be subjected to at-home detention, and have no contact with alleged victims or witnesses. One of the judges who denied this package, Judge Robin Tarnofsky, sided with U.S. Attorney's argument that Diddy posed a risk if he were to be released for home detention. She said, "I don't believe that counsel has the ability to control you, given the very significant concerns I have, particularly because of substance use and what seems like anger issues. The danger, I think, is quite serious," she added of Diddy's release, deciding that the bond package his team offered would not assure his return to court or the safety of the community or lack of witness tampering. In a September 17th letter to the judge arguing for Diddy to be jailed until he was brought to trial, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams claimed that his office has the testimony of dozens of witnesses and victims to his serial mistreatment and evidence from dozens of his own electronic devices and those of his co-conspirators. Investigators have taken in more than 90 cell phones, laptops, cloud storage accounts, as well as at least 30 storage devices. They issued more than 300 grand jury subpoenas to obtain this evidence from communication providers, tech and social media companies, financial institutions, and Diddy's companies. Prosecutors allegedly have dozens of videos depicting Diddy's so-called freak-offs that corroborate witness testimony. So it's safe to say that there's plenty of evidence that will keep Diddy in jail.
After some information resurfaced about a legal contract she's under, fans are saying she is being held hostage and has been for over a decade. Some of this is actually true. Since 2008, she's been under her father's guardianship, which was a decision made back when she had her big mental breakdown the year before. For as long as the arrangement has been in place, people have tried to extract her from it after she got herself into a more stable place. So the hashtag FreeBritney isn't actually new, but people now think she's sending coded messages over her social media, pleading with her followers to help her escape. It has led them to petition the White House asking for an end to the conservatorship with her father. If you don't follow Britney, some examples of her coded messages are that fans will write on her post telling her to wear a yellow shirt in her next post if she needs help, which she did. She wore yellow shirts. Or they will tell her to post a picture of a flower as her next post, which she also did. And they also said post a dove photo, and she posted this weird art picture with doves in it. It could just be a weird coincidence, but people truly believe there is something going on. It's been said that her contract also has her father having control over her social media, so she can't just ask for help up front, which is why she might possibly be posting these little hints to get help. So what exactly is a conservatorship? When a person is deemed unstable to make their own decisions, usually from a mental illness, a court will grant the authority to a conservator. This person functions as a guardian and actually gets control over the person's finances, health matters, etc. In Britney's case, her father has legal responsibility over her whole life, even though she is now 38 years old. For years, her father and an attorney have controlled her approximately $60 million fortune. Now, Britney's attorney Stanton Stein has said that Britney is always involved in every career or business related decision, but reports say her father actually has the control over that. So right now, the Britney movement goal is to get the conservatorship lifted when it comes next up for consideration on August 22nd, or at least put her in a position where she is allowed to hire her own lawyer, because apparently right now she's actually unable to do that. All of this came from the time in 2007 when she started acting irrational and shaved her head and smashed the window of a paparazzi's car with an umbrella. We all made jokes about it back then, but not so funny now. It was a series of highly publicized mental breakdowns and alleged substance abuse that had her involuntarily committed to a psychiatric hospital for a second time. That is when her father was granted temporary conservatorship, which eventually became permanent. They actually deemed her to have dementia. He actually stepped down from the role in 2019 for personal health reasons, and it was passed to Britney's care manager, Jody Montgomery, instead. What people really want to know though is how Britney feels about all this. Only Britney truly knows how she is feeling, but recently she has said that she's totally fine. Recordings are starting to surface though where she's made comments about it where she was not fine with it. In 2008, a recording from the Rolling Stone captured her saying, "I basically just want my life back. I want to be able to drive my car, I want to be able to live in my house by myself, I want to be able to say who's going to be my security guard." A 3-month investigation was done in 2019, and they said there was no evidence that proves Britney is being harmed, so they can't do anything about it. This has only gotten really heavy recently because a former photographer leaked a letter that he said Britney wrote him in 2009 where she said she was lied to and set up by her father. The conservatorship is set up for review on August 22nd, and reports say that her mom, Lynn Spears, has also filed a formal request for more involvement in her financial decisions. So fans are hoping that she will be able to take her life back soon. God bless. That is insane to me.
And at number 10, Britney bribed her parents' divorce. One of the most shocking revelations from Jamie Lynn's book and interviews was the fact that her parents never had the perfect marriage, and their father Jamie struggled with alcohol issues while they were young. This caused his behavior to be unpredictable when they were growing up, and it put a huge strain on their children. Because of the toxic relationship, Britney told her mother she would buy her a house if she divorced Jamie, her father. Her mother did this, got the house and the divorce, and then her father basically lived at the house anyway.
Jamie Lynn says their dad was there the first night that the women moved into the new house. Jamie Lynn didn't know how to act. She was so young, she was knowing her sister's wishes, but seeing her mother staying with this man, she was angry, upset, and didn't know which side to take. And at number 9, barefoot in a gas station bathroom. In 2004, Britney made the strange decision to go barefoot into a sketchy bathroom, and the media questioned her cleanliness ever since that incident. While at a gas station in Ventura, California, Britney needed to use the bathroom and decided to just use one at the gas station. Her fiancé Kevin Federline was waiting in the car for her when paparazzi snapped her walking into the unisex bathroom with bare feet. Yup, that's right. Britney decided to use a unisex gas station bathroom with no shoes on. I feel like it would honestly be hard to find any celebrity that would be okay with using a gas station bathroom in general. After that, the media exploded questioning her hygiene, and I'm sure she regrets how much media attention that small moment got. But at the end of the day, if she feels fine going barefoot, who are we to judge? And at number 8, Jamie Lynn's terrifying experience. In her new book, Jamie Lynn describes a terrifying event with her sister that sheds light on the struggles that Britney was facing at that time. She wrote, quote, "One time she said to me, 'Baby, I'm scared,' and took a large knife from the kitchen, pulled me along to my room, and she locked us both inside. She put the weapon in the bedside table drawer and simply repeated, 'I'm scared.' She needed me to sleep beside her." Jamie Lynn describes how scared she was during that incident and claims she experienced panic attacks after that. Britney responded to the shocking allegations on Twitter, denying that the event ever happened. Britney wrote, quote, "I've never been around you with a knife or would I ever think to do such." Neither parent has made a statement about which sister is telling the truth. And at number 7, Jason Alexander wedding. One of Britney's most controversial moments was when she decided to get married to her childhood friend in Vegas, clearly an impulsive move. Her sister Jamie Lynn gave more details surrounding this event in her book, and Jamie Lynn said she could sense that something was wrong when Britney came home for the holidays. Jamie Lynn describes Britney coming home for the holidays and acting very strange. Britney allegedly met up with Alexander on Christmas Eve before she took the women in the family on a tropical vacation. She wrote, quote, "Immediately I noticed that Britney was being secretive and keeping her distance. She wanted to be anywhere but with us. I was particularly hurt by her shunning." After the family got back from the trip, Britney flew to Vegas with friends, and Jamie Lynn knew something bad was going to happen. Jamie Lynn even remembers telling Britney not to get married. Then Britney just rolled her eyes and told her that she wouldn't. But as we know, just hours later, Britney would in fact marry him. Jamie Lynn admitted she was embarrassed by the whole fiasco, though to keep up appearances she pretended at the time it was blown out of proportion. She added, "At that point, the chaos of my sister's life was just beginning." And at number 6, driving with infant on lap. In 2006, there was another incident with Britney and her new baby that actually caused the police to show up at her home to check on them. Paparazzi snapped Britney at a Malibu Starbucks driving out of the parking lot with her baby, Sean Preston, in her lap. This is not only illegal but very scary, as infants must ride in car seats to be as safe as possible on the road. When asked later about the incident, she blamed aggressive paparazzi. The paparazzi made her pull out quickly because she felt threatened. But the police did not care about this explanation, and the LA County Sheriff's Department visited Spears' home to talk about the incident at the request of county child welfare authorities. The paparazzi also clapped back at the claims and said they were not threatening her in any way. The photo agency said, quote, "These pictures were taken in a very peaceful context in which photographers exhibited no aggressive behavior." Halfway number 5, the family's Hollywood team made all the decisions. Although we are putting most of the blame on the conservatorship on Britney's father Jamie, which should be the case, we need to discuss the role that Hollywood executives had in it too. These executives also made a lot of family decisions during Jamie Lynn's unexpected teen pregnancy. This is the reason that Britney's made a point to talk about the bad job done by her previous lawyers, along with the manipulation by Lou Taylor, who was Britney's business manager at the time of her conservatorship. It is widely believed that Taylor was the real architect of the conservatorship and gave Jamie the tools he needed to control Britney's life. Jamie Lynn herself even questioned who made a lot of the decisions during her time pregnant. Jamie Lynn also stated that the media has been twisting a lot of the quotes that the sisters have said, and the media are the ones putting the wedge between the whole family. And at number 4, almost dropped her son. This was another incident back in 2006 involving her newborn son. Only a week after the incident where she was caught driving with the baby on her lap, she tripped while walking in Manhattan and almost dropped her son, Sean Preston. She was leaving the Ritz-Carlton holding a drink in her right hand and Sean in her left as she maneuvered through the crowd of onlookers. Britney moved through the crowd and then she suddenly tripped. The baby's head then went backward as the hat flew off his head. Britney regained her balance and the baby seemed okay thanks to a quick reaction from the bodyguard. To make matters worse, it didn't look like she spilled a drop of the drink that she was holding in her other hand. It was reported that days later she had a breakdown over the incident. Since 2 of these similar incidents with her son happened so closely together, her parenting skills were further scrutinized by the public. And at number 3, attacks paparazzi with umbrella. One of Britney's worst moments in the press was in 2007 when she attacked a paparazzi with a green umbrella because she was so mad over all the attention she was getting. At this time, Britney was clearly going through a lot. She had just shaved her head in front of the public. It was all anyone was talking about. Britney was begging to be left alone and deal with her issues while not getting bombarded with paparazzi. But obviously that did not happen, and she was hounded more than ever. At the time, her paparazzi attack became so famous that a Florida morning radio host even used photos from her breakdown on his Total Nutjobs billboards. Months after the incident, she apologized in a bizarre statement, writing, quote, "I apologize to the pop for a stunt that was done 4 months ago regarding an umbrella. I was preparing my character for a role in a movie where the husband never plays his part, so they switch places accidentally. I take all my roles very seriously and got a little carried away. Unfortunately, I didn't get the part." And at number 2, screaming at Sam Lufty. Sam Lufty is one of the most controversial people in the world of Britney Spears, and her entire family blames Sam for her eventual downfall in 2007. In 2008, the pair got in a screaming match over Britney's boyfriend at the time, paparazzo Adnan Ghalib, and this was one of many of their public fights back then. Apparently, Britney and Sam got in a huge fight and Britney refused to go into his house, so she called her boyfriend, Adnan Ghalib, to come get her at Sam's house. He came right over, but when he got there, Sam would not let him get Britney. The guards were under strict orders from Sam not to let him in. He tried calling each of her 6 cell phones and the house phone, but she did not answer. Years later, Britney would get restraining orders from both Sam Lufty and Adnan Ghalib. And finally, number 1, her career was almost threatened. Back in the 90s when Britney was becoming a star, there was a man in the shadows of all the most famous boy bands who ended up scamming all of them. The man was named Lou Pearlman, and he created both the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. He wanted Spears to join a girl group that he had been working on, but she was more set on being a solo artist at the time. Thankfully, she didn't want to be in a girl group, or she would have been working with Pearlman when the members of the boy bands realized that they were being scammed. He was later sued for fraud and misrepresentation by most of the pop acts that he worked with, on top of being behind one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history, and the members of the boy bands only received a fraction of the money that he owed them.